Good morning, everyone. It's Mama Chameleon here, and today I just felt like I needed to talk as a Cancer Angel mom. My time hop came up today, and it's 2 years ago to the day that Haven was up in Boston prepping for the MIBG scan. I've mentioned this before, this MIBG scan, and I just feel like I needed, to talk about this again. And again, it's all about awareness to parents out there that are going through this hell of cancer and its conventional medicine. The MIBG scan is a full body radiation scan where Haven had to be in a room. He couldn't leave the room. He had to be locked in there. Nurses and doctors could not come in. We, as parents, had to change his diaper with gloves. He was basically radioactive in simplest terms. So he had to be there for a week straight. Now, Haven started receiving vitamin C IV the October of 2013 after he was sent home to die. We found the doctor in Wichita, Kansas, and that's when we begun that journey. About January, he had scans, and he had a huge tumor that was in his lungs that completely disappeared. Even though this was going on, the doctors, oncologists still continued to push us to do this MIBG scan. One of the main reasons was they were never going to believe that the vitamin C was actually destroying tumors. But I want to point out as parents and let you know why we ended up doing it. Again, even though my whole gut and my intuition told me not to. This is a picture here of Haven in his last days with his dad on the tractor. I don't know if you can really see that there, but you can see on his clavicle, that was a huge, what I call a spot. So that spot was there when Haven went into his relapse refractory state after his initial protocol, and it just kind of stayed there. It never really got bigger, it never really got smaller, but we could see that every day. So just imagine seeing your son and being able to visibly see this tumor. So that's what the doctors kept, going back and looking at. After that scan in January, they had been trying to get us to do the MIBG for months, and I kept putting it off. Finally, we had another scan in February where they said, it seems like there's a little bit lighting up. There's an MIBG treatment, there's an MIBG scan. So the scan, I always felt, I put this out there to the doctors. Every time Haven would get that scan, I could see the symptoms of Haven acting up again, which were rages, mood swings that he would have, along with a lazy eye. All of this had completely disappeared from the moment that he got the vitamin C treatment. I have to just express this today because I'm just working through the guilt that I have, and my husband I know has, with actually going through and ended up doing the MIBG scan, which I know ultimately caused the demise of my son. My husband went up there the first half of the week. I was to go up there to relieve them, and I actually had a full-blown panic attack where I couldn't even step foot in the room. So looking back on that, I know even more that he shouldn't have been getting that. And then what happened from there was the day that he came home from that treatment after a week, the lazy eye that I spoke about and the rages immediately began. It was over here in our downstairs bathroom. I can remember it perfectly from the moment he stepped foot in that house. I'm not here to make people feel bad. I'm not here for sympathy. I am here because we need a choice for our kids. When we're getting scans back after doing vitamin C IV and other natural therapies and tumors are disappearing, why don't we continue on with that path? The problem is you don't have the support from doctors. You don't have the support from anyone. And that's why I talk about this, is to just educate it, to remind people like what these kids are going through. It's complete hell. That treatment ended up causing Haven to have to get platelet infusions that started 4 weeks later, and those infusions just never stopped. He could never hold his platelets. Then that Easter on April 20th is when Haven had a new spot in his throat, and we were told that it could not even very well be neuroblastoma. It could be another type of cancer because that's the side effects of MIBG. After Haven passed, I've had a conversation with one of the heads of neuroblastoma from Hasbro Children's Hospital, and talking about these options, talking about Haven's healing hands, talking about choices. And she actually said to me, oh, one of the things that they're looking at is to start the initial protocol with the MIBG. That's the things that they're looking at and doing. So again, I have this petition out there, Haven's Voice for Choice. I started this petition in December. I got some hard signatures here, not too many. It's pretty much been stuck on 600. And the whole point of it is, I'm not telling anybody out there, hey, don't do chemo, don't do radiation. I'm telling you that we did both. I'm telling you I have to wonder if we would have done the natural selection first prior to the devastation of the protocol. What could have happened? Could things have been different? So please, if any of you out there ever got dealt this, wouldn't you want to have a naturopathic doctor along with an oncologist working together to let you know the options? All these MDs can tell you, they told us exactly that Haven would lose his platelets, the awful side effects, but they have nothing to do to prevent these side effects. They don't talk anything about that. So I'm just here again. I'm feeling really off today. I'm feeling really unsettled today, and just speaking out loud sometimes helps me to heal. So please share this video. Go to change.org, Haven's Voice for Choice, the right to choose your treatment option in a cancer diagnosis. Sign it. Let's get on a revolutionary movement.